Hey guys, you know, I recently had hip surgery and back the 11th of September, so I'm a little goofy right now because of pain meds and everything. But just the last few weeks, I've just kind of been, I don't know, just not myself, I think. And um, one thing that kept um, running through my head was I kind of felt like that maybe I wasn't, doing, everything God wanted me to do, or, I wasn't being who I felt like I needed to be, um, or things like that. And, and then of course, the enemy likes to come along and say, well, you know, you messed up. God is not going to finish you. He's already moved on to somebody else. That he's like totally done with you. And I'm sure I am not alone in this. I think it's something that sometimes we struggle. And if you've seen my video from before, um, I mean, I've recently, only within the last year, really have you know developed a relationship with God. And you know but then when I think about the type of God that He is, and the loving God that He is, and the faithful God that He is, and above all, the most patient God that He is. I actually used to be afraid to pray for patience because the whole Job thing, because you develop patience by trials. So, but I've kind of learned that sometimes it's good, you know, to pray for patience, and it doesn't always mean that everything's going to go crazy on you. Um, but anyway, I just kind of felt like um, that kind of wanted to share, my struggle, because I think there's a lot of people like me out there that just sometimes are just kind of overwhelmed, and there's all these, people around that are just really seem to have it all together, and sometimes you kind of, you're just kind of like, okay, what do I do here? So that's kind of why I think I created this whole ministry page to begin with, is that I could share, my struggles and the things that go through my head, but whether it be, um, mental illness, or just stress in general. Um, I kind of wanted to share because I know it helps me when I realize that there is somebody else out there just like me, and that it's all good. So anyway, and I apologize because I can see that the camera keeps going blurry and back and forth. So um, but anyway, I begin to think about the kind of God that He is, and just what He does as far as with Israel, and He'd get them taken care of and get them situated, and then they would go back. And I mean, it was like a cycle, but He never gave up on them. I mean, there was, like, I think it's like 400 years of silence before Jesus, and from the last prophet to Jesus, but He was still always there. And I personally have learned that even when it seems like He is not there, He is. Even when it seems like He's not working on anything, that nothing's getting done, there is. It's just sometimes we want things to happen in our time, and we get impatient. We want things fixed now, and it doesn't always work that way. But anyway, the God that I have learned in the Word, and that I've seen and grown up with, um, you know, even when I was out in the world doing my own thing, He's not someone that would give up. And you know what? The Word tells us that He will never leave us nor forsake us. The Word tells us that no one can pluck us from His hand. He sent us the Holy Spirit because He knew that we were far from perfect, that it would not be an easy thing, and that we're human. We will never be perfect until we, are back with Him. And of course, we have the enemy, which, he always has to try to get his stuff in. So, I guess what I'm just trying to say is that, when it feels like maybe you've messed up, God's already allowed for that, because that's why we have the Holy Spirit. So that we can learn and what is God's will for us. So that we can learn the Word and understand and reflect on what it is He wants from us. It's the Holy Spirit that changes us. It's definitely not something we've done. It's not something that there is nothing we can do to earn our salvation. It's done through grace. It's done through forgiveness. It's done through mercy from a God that loves us very much. And I hope to reach people that are not only people that are Christian and maybe they're kind of trying to find their way, but for those who are looking for something that's better than what they have, where for me, God is my answer for everything, because when I found Him, everything just fell into place. And that's not to say I don't struggle, and sometimes some of the old habits come back and the stinking thinking tries to rear its head and kind of adds to the chorus of the enemy and his things. But I want to reach out to anybody and encourage you that there is life, that it doesn't have to be a death sentence. It doesn't have to mean that you will never see sunshine again or rain, that it'll always be rainy. I've been where you are. I've been through fire. Feels like I've been through hell and back more than once. But I hope this video is getting to people that are really looking for something that will give them hope. Because I'm going to tell you, for me, Jesus is enough. With Him, I have everything I need. But I'm always willing to talk to anybody that, is reaching out because they just really need somebody that understands and has been where they are. And, I never know when these videos are going to take place, so I'm never prepared. So, there's a lot of wells and that kind of thing, so I apologize. But I am genuine. And I am a very good listener. And unfortunately, I've been through the school of hard knocks. So, contact me, email me, message me, whatever it is. Just reach out. And let's see what we can do. And one last thing before I go, as far as, when we feel like sometimes that we're not living up to God's expectations. Sometimes we have to think that maybe our expectations that we're passing on to God are ours in truth and not what He has. Because, God, Jeremiah 29:11, I think it is, for I know the plans I have for you. Plans for you to prosper, not to harm you. He wants nothing but our good. And He will never set us up for failure. If He puts something in our heart to do, or He puts something in our heart to say, it's because we have what we need to complete that task. But sometimes we get in our own way. We put our obstacles up. We're like, well, I don't know. I don't know if I can do all that. I mean, I still haven't graduated to live videos yet. So for now it's taped, but I'll get there. So keep on walking. Stay the course God gives you. God's like a GPS. He will tell you, give you a direction, and then you just keep going until you hear the next thing. So if things are silent, maybe it's because you're not ready to turn yet. You're not where the next place is. One of the things, there's a lot of people that inspire me, but one special lady that I just absolutely adore, her name is Priscilla Shires, Priscilla Shire. And one of the things she said is that if you kind of feel like that you've lost your way a little bit, go back to the place or time when you last knew for beyond a shadow of a doubt that you heard God direct you. Go back to that moment and examine and ask God to show you, because sometimes we kind of take a side road instead of keep on where our path is in front of us. And we know how the enemy works. He will take every opportunity to try to make it so that, we get sidetracked, and then we just he tries to keep us so busy we won't even notice for a while. God allows U-turns. Every place there is. So, I think that's all I have for right now. God bless you and keep you in yours.